Well, let's talk about Eddington first because it was awesome, and it was just like the stakes kept rising, like because you have like this. It's kind of like a time capsule moment. This is what I felt like. To me, it felt like this time capsule moment from very recently, where you have the COVID mandates, you have the BLM movement going on, you have a change in the overlords of media. So now like information is coming out of everywhere, right? So there's a lot of like new, but also errant information in the world. You have all of these things happening at the same time. Then you have this sheriff, Joe Cross, who's kind of like an authority figure, right? You know, that's who you look to when there's something going on. But also at the same time, everyone's challenging authority. So it's just, and then he starts to lose authority over himself. So there's so much going on. My question, I'm going to get to it too. When there's so much going on like that, the interesting thing about Joe Cross, who the character that you played, is that there were moments I'm like, am I cheering for this guy? Like, I just felt, I was like, how do I feel? Because he's who you're kind of going through the film with, through Eddington with. I'm like, do I feel for him? Do I feel against him? The whole time I just knew I just felt. He made me feel, right? Are you thinking about that as you're going through it, like how you're trying to make us feel, or that's not something that an actor is doing?
So something that Ari and I talked about, something that was very important to me from the beginning, was that that Joe challenges like the audience's preconceived idea of what like a conservative small town sheriff is. And I didn't know how, didn't really know how or what that really meant, what that really looked like. And I think at some point I just wanted to care about him. Like I just wanted to like take politics or philosophy or anything like that out of the picture and just go like, what's the man? And I think that that we found that through his relationship with his wife.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really where he's like most like his power or authority is like threatened or non-existent. And so that it becomes like the catalyst for his kind of desire for more authority and power. It's one of the things, as you said, there's several things kind of happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just felt like he was the cause of his own possibility and his own pain constantly. And it made me think so much about life, but it was so real to see him that way. Could you relate to that in your own life? Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Just normal, huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think all the characters in this, I felt when I read the script, I was like, oh, I recognize myself in all of these characters actually, and sometimes it's like, it's an embarrassing admission, and then there's just there's things,
dude,
particularly that time. And I think in some ways, yeah, maybe we're always responsible for how we respond to what happens in the world, right? So we're not like so much of like just what happens in life you don't have any control over. But how we respond to that, we have control over. And I know I constantly fail in my response, or at least don't respond in the best way in the moment, sure. Right? I respond like emotionally, and so I definitely identified with that, and that's Joe. I mean, he kind of like just keeps making mistakes, and he's so. Like he's so desperate to like have some control, like just like he just wants, he's just like, you know that feeling when you're like, I need things to just stop for a fucking second so I can breathe. And then like your desire to like make things stop, just make things ramp up more and more. And then you just like trip and you fall down the stairs. It's just like, it's like that.
Yeah, that escalation. Oh, I kept imagining the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is fucking just like, has put too much cheese on his burger, dude. This guy is just, and then I kept imagining the whole time he has to take a pee and he can't even get to that. He's just dealing with like activists and people throwing things through wind. And then he gets home and he sleeps in his glasses. Like he literally gets up and just has to like bounce. And he's like, suddenly it's all in focus again. And his brain has barely had time to rest. And I'm like, God, somebody fucking just put a sniper, shoot a Xanax into this dude or something. Just somebody fucking give him a damn Percocet suppository or something. This guy needs some relief, you know?
Yeah.
And then it also was like, God, especially during that time, like a lot of mania came along with a lot of those different like things that were happening in the world, right? And there's still a lot of mania remnants from that. And I was like, God, everybody needed some relief. You know,
Yeah.
It feels like that as a society. Sometimes we need some relief sometimes, but we have everything we need, it feels like. So it's kind of a weird juxtaposition to be in.
Yeah. So what's the plan?
Yeah. What is the plan? I don't know. It just feels like we're just doing the opposite of a hug right now.
That's right. That's right. And,
Yeah. Did you feel when you watch that movie, like you got to the, like you were like, this will be a reminder. This will like help influence people in a better way. This could be like a seed of like where we've been and where we can grow from. Or
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like movies are surprising. Those things that connect with people and actually influence culture. And sometimes they don't. Just not. Yeah, I don't really know what it is.
That's crazy to ask you.
No. I think it's a fair question, and I think in some ways, I think all I can do is think about like myself versus like the effect that it has on me. And in some ways, there was like I felt like I had permission to laugh at myself, like a way to like kind of evaluate some of that like mania, as you say. Like we were like fucking crazy. Like the summer of 2020 was crazy. And people were, I love that you said it's the opposite of a hug. And it really was. Like everyone was so kind of fractured and fragmented and just all isolated in our own worlds, like quite literally physically isolated. And then everyone was just so online and kind of fed their own
an algorithm
fucking thing, yes, that just further kind of propelled them into their own lanes. It's like even people in the same houses in their own place. And there was just like this, I just remember everything felt so aggressive. Like even there were like signs that were supposed to be like we trust science and we love all people. But somehow even that felt like confrontational.
Right.
Like there's it felt like no matter what anyone said, everyone was like, this is my position and my position is fucking right and you can go fuck yourself. Like, it's just like people went fucking nuts. Well, we did.
All of us.
Right?
No, it doesn't seem like you're calling anybody out. It feels like we're all inclusive. I agree. Yeah. It's amazing what a time. It was like the most recent time capsule that was the most insane. Like usually they're like, we found a can of ham from 1930, and we're going to invite everybody over and the girls will sing and then we'll open it, But this was like, Jesus Christ, we just found the most insane time capsule and the mud is still wet. Yes.
Yeah.
But then it's like, it was a reminder, have we even recovered from all of that? Like what happens to the human being as we go through all that? And then you have all this pent up anger and confusion and everything.
I think we wanted to forget, or we're like pretending to forget. Because it was ugly and
it was ugly.
It was ugly, but it was also really painful. And I think a lot of people were like fucking scared.
But then also the character of the mother, I didn't even think about that, of Joe Cross's mother, because
mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law. Oh, that was his mother-in-law. of the mother-in-law, because then you're like,
did it just change everything now for you to know that it's not his mother?
It made it a little bit more crazier. I'm like, so you're telling me he teamed up with her mom and now they're the one? It's just like, but then that is something a lot of people have in their life. Like, oh, well, I talked to my girlfriend's mom and now we're oh shit, man. That guy was screwed, dude.
Yes.
Jack Frost was fucking screwed. God.
Yeah, but he screwed himself.
Yeah, he was the holder of his possibility and his pain at the same time. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So was there something that inspired you or led you to think? Because I think what's interesting also in the career of an actor is you start to realize, well, I only have so many times that I get to do this, and times that I can afford to be away from family and friends and just take on such energy in my life. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure it starts to become a little bit more poignant, like the choices that you do make. So was there something about him or his processes that made you think this is the right choice? Or how do you land on a choice like that?
You never know if it's the right choice or what it is, right? You're just going, I mean, honestly, I just liked him. We started talking, and the way that he talked about the film and the way that he talked about the character, I knew that it was personal, and I could tell that it meant so much to him, that he loved making movies, and it meant so much to him, and that he, like, I think I just got a sense that he was tireless, and like, the director like really has to be obsessed, right? Because they do have to.
They have to do so much.
Which fork am I fucking choosing, right? Yeah. And you want them to actually care about that shit, or else you're going to be watching the thing, Dunkirk, and you're pissed off. Or
they have plastic silverware,
right,
in fucking 1812. Yes. And I'm sure that wasn't the right year for Dunkirk either. So we're all bad.
No, that sounds good. So I think that's maybe what, right away I was like, okay, well, this, he loves making movies. And I know that just from talking to him on the phone. And he's funny. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes you're just like, do I want to hang out with this fucking dude?
I'm sure.
That's right. And it's like, because you go through a whole range of emotions to make a movie. I mean, yeah, it's a movie and you're safe, but in the moment, your body doesn't know that it's not real. You know what I mean? It's just some shit that you're doing, right? And so it can, things can get like, there can be a lot of emotion or a lot of energy, and having somebody that you really like feels important. And they paid me so much money.
Oh God.
No, they didn't.
Give me some of it. Give me a little.